Good evening and welcome to the second episode of Lively Talks for Lively Seniors. My name is Jude Collins. I'm 82 years old and, I've forgotten where I am. I'm 85 for God's sake. And
Just feel 82.
and the whole point is 60. The whole purpose of this series is that we want to inspire older citizens, older people to enjoy life, to continue to do things. I'm against retirement. When you say retirement, somebody said to me, even the word is a downer, like tired, retired. Well, we don't want people to gain retirement and feel tired. We want them to be inspired. We want them to be living as much as they ever did when they were 21 and 22. So here with helping me today are my two guests who both believe the way I do. On my right we have Barbara, on my left we have Sonia, and they're all pretty chirpy ladies. Now, what happens in life, I'm afraid, is that it seems from statistics that women do outlive men usually. They say by about 8 years. So it seems to me that there's more widows out there than widowers. And so usually that's the people I have on my show, but not exclusively. Sometimes we'll probably have some men. But what I feel is that we have to keep living. Every day is a gift. We have to enjoy every day and never ever think, oh, I'm retired now, or I'm 70 now, or I'm 75 now, I've got to slow down. As long as your health is good, you've got to keep going as much as you can. Because the minute you start slowing down and saying, oh, I'm retired, so my body's tired, I'm just going to walk the dog slowly, I'm going to watch TV, that's the time your mind stagnates. And if you keep your body and your mind living and excited and enjoying your day, every minute of your day, you're going to live longer and you're going to be healthier. Now, my friend here, Barbara, lives on the mountain. I live on a mountaintop in Australia. It's called Mount Tamarine. We have a population of about 7,000. It's a delightful place to live, but most of us have spent our lives in the city. But we chose this quiet little place now because it's so beautiful. And Barbara is the owner of the local newspaper. She puts the newspaper out every 2 weeks. And I'd like her to tell us how she came to do this and a little bit more about her life. She used to be a dancer. So, Barbara, take it away, love.
Thanks, June. Yes, it's quite an unusual story, I guess. Just briefly coming to the mountain in 1986 on Tamborine Mountain from New South Wales, Sydney, and actually we lived on the Central Coast, which is outside of that area as well. And we came up here in that year to probably start a little bit of a new life. My partner and I at the time were in theatre, so as June said, I was a dancer. So we came up to Queensland not really knowing our future. I actually started a dance school up here, and my partner was working at Jupiter's Casino, which is in the Gold Coast.
The only casino
off the mountain. And then the course of the years we did that, and then we met some people that started a paper, a local newspaper. There was already one here as well, but this fellow wanted to start the newspaper. Unfortunately, he passed away, and Kevin and I...
How long had you been together?
With Kevin?
Yeah, before he passed away.
Well, this is the original owner of the paper.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So Kevin was actually working and helping and writing.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Assistant editor and that sort of thing. And I've always been sort of an active, busy person in my lifestyle. Mm. But although I worked with the paper, I didn't actually, as I said, it was his baby.
Yeah.
But because it was a family thing, I ended up ringing advertisers and, doing all of that sort of stuff.
But you didn't run the paper, Kevin did.
No, he was.
But it sounds to me like you and I have a bit of a parallel here, because I was engaged to be married to a man who owned a trucking company. And then he decided to go to Hawaii because he just bought a ship, an old World War II ship, and he was going to rebuild it so he could go hauling drilling mud up to the pipeline in Alaska pipeline it was. And he said to me, I'm going to Hawaii for 6 months. Take care of the trucking company. I didn't know a damn thing about trucks.
At that stage, you couldn't even drive one.
And I lived in Florida, and I got to go to Alaska and take care of a trucking company while he's off in Hawaii. So you are a dancing teacher, and your man says, well, he just kissed the bucket.
Yeah, he just kissed the bucket and says,
someone says to you, take the newspaper and run with it. Good God, we must be nuts.
We are.
Do you know that we're nuts?
Yeah, we are nuts.
But anyway, you made a damn good job of it. How long ago was that, love? It was quite a while ago.
Yeah, we purchased it in 94, and then Kevin died in 2001. So he always used to annoy me because he used to say, my decision is not to make a decision, which used to really upset me.
I wouldn't
which
like
is
that.
so frustrating.
Yeah, like that.
But anyway, that was an excuse, I suppose. But then people asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, my decision is not to make a decision. I'll just sit here.
I don't like that. That's a terrible attitude.
But here, nearly 20 years later since he passed away, I'm
You've
still
done a good
running
job, everybody on the mountain says, because what kills me with you is you wear many hats. For example, all the stories you put in the paper, you rarely send someone out with the camera to go and cover it. You're out there covering it yourself, taking the photos, writing the story. You do a hell of a job.
Oh, thanks.
I mean,
it's a small community.
I know.
It's a small.
But I truthfully think you've got an ulterior motive. And I think that is you just want a good time, and they invite you to all these things.
Well,
that's it. They want their story in the paper, and you like to get out there and have a drink and dance.
Actually, that's funny you should say that, because people used to say to me, you work all the time. I said, but there's a bit of a bonus there, because you go to these events
and have a
and
good
you go
time.
to the local theatres and you see the shows and you have a glass of champagne.
I hope you never go and drink enough champagne that you forget to take the photos.
Oh, I've actually forgotten the card reader sometimes. I've gone to take it and I've gone, oh, censored. So now the fortunate part is, in this day and age, because of technology, we have mobile phones. So you can pull out your mobile phone.
Yes, they certainly do. They're an asset. Some things I don't like about the modern age that I can't keep up with.
But they're a backup.
But the mobile phones, I agree with that. But anyway, the main thing is that you're still very active and you're enjoying what you do.
Yeah, there's some days where it gets tedious, like running any business.
It gets tedious for you, love, because you overdo it a bit. And I've always told, I have a lot of children. I never said this earlier, but I adopted 6 children from all over the world. And when they'd come to me and they'd say, Mum, I'm bored, I always said, if you're bored, it's because you're boring, love. Make yourself a bit more interesting. Get something to do.
Yeah.
I can't show you everything to do. You've got to do it yourself.
No.
And Sonia.
Hello, June.
How are you, darling?
I'm very well, thank you.
Now, Sonia, I used to own a shop up here on the mountain, and I first met Sonia when she came into the shop. However, she always dressed so nicely, and she always had a smile and looked so bright. As you get older, it's so important to smile. When people get that sour look, other people stay away from them. I think if you smile the way you do, I think you attract people. And you not only attract people, you attract younger people. And for us as we're older, it's very important not to fall into this rut of mixing only with people of our own age. Do you agree with that?
I agree, and a smile is quite a funny thing. It wrinkles up your face, and when it grows, you'll never find its secret hiding place.
Well, I say smile all the time because as you get old, you get these damn lines
Oh,
down
well,
here.
that's it.
I hate
That's
the
it.
rotten things.
Yes.
When if you smile a lot, they won't get so
No,
bad.
and
You'll-
also when you do smile, it stretches your face across, and you don't see the bags under your eyes.
Oh, for God's sake, we can do without the bags. Wear glasses. Wear tinted glasses, love. We have to use anything we can get.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, sweetheart, another reason I chose you, not only because I always like the way you present yourself, but tell me what you do. Now you've so-called retired.
Well, so-called never really retired because I've always been active in voluntary work here and there. But I do have a love of acting, and with my partner, who has recently passed, he passed away in December. We had 21 years together, and we had fun. We travelled the world, and this was in our retirement. And we did skits together, which were great. Do you remember,
Yes, I've
Barbara,
seen many.
our skits that we did at the Samia Theatre?
Yeah,
And at
they
the
were good
moment,
fun.
I am doing a play, Ladies Please, and so I'm busy with rehearsals. And that sort of keeps your mind going. You're active all the time. I do get tired, and I find when I get tired, I can have a day off and I can just sleep. They call it vegging out. But when I'm walking, my grandson says, "Slow down, Sonia, slow down."
Slow down.
And I said, yeah. And people say to me in my complex, they say, "Oh, you go up that hill so fast, And I says, "Yeah, well, I get there quicker, don't I?"
Well,
So I love poetry. I have always loved poetry. I'm with the Calanthe group on the mountain. I love the mountain, and I was so sorry to leave the mountain. I had to leave when my partner got very sick. But I'm up and down. I can drive. It takes me 20 minutes. I'm back on the mountain.
that's another thing is driving. I think a lot of people, particularly women, they stop driving. Now, if you are no longer capable of being alert and driving well, yes, I think we should. And in fact, I think older people should all be tested at 75. I mean, really tested. As it is, they check our eyes and the
But
medicals.
you're talking about an actual driving.
A driving
test,
a
not
test,
just
a driving
eyesight.
test. We should be tested. This testing our health
Yes.
and our eyesight's not enough.
Well, don't they do this in New South
No, they
Wales?
don't.
They take you out on the road.
Darling,
and
I'm
test you.
85. They've never taken me out on
I
the
don't know,
road.
Not
do it
in
in
Queensland,
Queensland.
but they do
No,
in New
they
South
don't
Wales.
have here. They should do it everywhere.
Yes.
Now, I drive a 10-seater van. What does every 85-year-old drive? A 10-seater van. But I know I'm still extremely
Yes.
alert,
Yes.
extremely alert. My reflexes are quick,
Yes.
but not everybody is. So I think that we should all be tested at about
I agree.
75 to
Yes.
keep the road safe. But if you can drive and you are still alert, I think we should not give up our driving license.
No,
It's
no.
very important to our independence
Oh,
that we're
absolutely.
still able to
Yes.
drive. Yes, so
Yes.
as you say, you go up and down the mountain.
I get in my car and I drive. I go to the Central Coast. I go down to Gosford. I visit my family
yeah,
with my
yeah,
great-grandchildren. And then I go out to the Blue Mountains and I visit my girlfriend who sits in the chair and doesn't drive anymore. And
It's
that's
terrible.
what happens
Yes.
to
It's
you
terrible.
when you give up.
My mother,
You've got to
my
keep
mother
going.
gave
You have
up.
to keep
Yes.
My mother gave up, and she said it was one of her biggest regrets. She said
Yes.
that life lost a lot of its pleasure when she had to be dependent on other people to get anywhere.
Must
But it's
be
the
awful.
stimulation, though, isn't it? Of being in contact with other people.
Yes.
You need that
We
stimulation.
all need people, and this is the major problem with retirement, and particularly again with women, because if they're used to having the husband there, so they have a mate, they can go out to dinner, they can go travelling around the world, they can do things, then he dies. With the older women in particular, they're not as independent as the young women today. Half the older women, when the husband dies, can barely change a light bulb
Absolutely.
because they've waited for the husband to do all these things. I must say that women should try to be independent, whether
Yes.
they're married or what, and try to look at your car and know when you need a new battery, know when you need to change the oil. Women have to learn to do a little more, a little sooner. I think the younger generation
Oh,
are.
we've come a long way, I think.
We've come a long way.
Yes.
A long way.
But also another thing is people. We need two things, greatly need two things in retirement. Laughter. Don't stop laughing. Don't stop
At yourself.
laughing. It keeps at yourself good. It keeps you young. And the other thing is people. If you retire and you lock yourself away at home and you don't go out and meet people, you stagnate. You stagnate mentally. Then you live in the past. What happens? You keep repeating the past because nothing new is
Yes,
happening
that's so
in the
true.
present. Then when your people come to visit, you tell them the same stories you don't remember, you've already told it to them. If you're boring, people don't hang around very long.
No, that's true.
If they love you, they come because they love you, but they don't stay so long.
Yes.
And then you wish you had more company.
But if you're negative, more negativity
Oh,
flows
okay.
around you. If
Oh,
you're
yes,
positive,
yes.
everything
Can't
goes
be
out.
negative.
Yes.
But what I was trying to say is get out of the house.
Yes.
Get
Oh,
out
yes,
of the
yes,
house.
because
Like
it's
I see a lot of the older people here walking the dog. That's great. I agree with that. I personally don't walk because I have a leg that's not as good as it should be. But I get out of the house. I belong to a writing group. I travel looking for antiques. I'm always traveling, looking for antiques. I love antiques. I write books. Here's one I really love. This one is, my name, folks, is June Collins, so go on the internet and find this. It's on Amazon called Goodbye Junie Moon. I've actually written 4 books. I've sold over 1 million total. But I join a writing group just because I want to exchange ideas with other
Interact
writers.
with other people.
You've joined a poetry group, and you're too busy to join anything.
Oh, no,
love.
but I do the tail end of things.
You do?
Oh, yes,
You do?
I've gone to the poetry
Yeah.
and said a bit of
But
poems.
you can, if
Yes,
you like
yes,
knitting,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
like
yeah.
knitting, don't sit at home and knit alone. Go and join a knitting
Knitting
group, or go
Yeah.
and take classes in painting.
Mm.
Or
Well, I've been there. I've done painting. I've done
oh,
quilting.
stop showing off.
Yes,
Showing off.
I've done all craft. I've done wood carving.
She's multi-skilled, this one.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Stop showing
Yes.
us up.
But anyway, that's the whole thing. There's so much you can do.
Yes, there is.
I don't
there
knit.
is.
That's one thing I don't want to do is knit. I'm sorry.
No, I don't knit. I've never knitted.
I've knitted,
I don't
yes.
sew either, but that's
And I'm not
okay.
that good in the kitchen either. Cooking.
But I don't want to do craft anymore. I just want to act and party
Yeah,
and
party.
travel and do
That's-
all the fun things.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going
it.
away for Christmas this year.
it
Instead
doesn't-
of
Where are you
spending
going?
it with my family sitting there like the old nana,
Doing all the cooking.
I'm going to Fraser Island for 3-4 days.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Good
yes, I'm going to
idea.
have a ball.
Oh,
Yes.
I hope you
fantastic.
do.
That's great.
I hope you meet.
I found a lovely lady. I hope she's
Oh,
a
we're
lovely
going to say,
lady.
Ah,
it's a
sure,
man.
lovely man. Better you find a lovely man.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
We can do better than that, can't we?
They said, will you twin share? I said, well, as long as it's 2 pick handles across the chest, and all his hair. Yeah.
We can
But
tell
anyway,
she's an actress, right?
I've got a lovely lady to share with me.
Well, straight, I assume.
Yes, Christmas.
Straight.
There's life
That
in
one
the old
went over
bird
her
yet.
head. Well,
You've got to live.
look. I think on that note we'll call it a day. I don't want us to get an X rating
Oh,
here,
no.
guys.
Can't
Well,
be
thank
censored.
you, June. Thank you.
So, well, I'm
We
going
were
to
just
take.
getting warmed up. What do you
I
mean?
know, but I guess time is limited here. I'm
Cheers.
so delighted to have you here, the 2 of you, 3 of us.
Just the 3 of us.
Yes, you should get up and do a little pirouette for us.
On the table.
You want to get up and do a pirouette?
It's my specialty, dancing on the
Viewers, if
table.
you followed us to the very end, I don't know how you managed it, but anyway, we thank you and we hope you'll watch us again. We'll be back here with episode 3 sometime in the next couple of weeks. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Live life to the
Cheers.
fullest. Cheers.
Thank you.